is there a different kind of mindset that a defense has around the goal line that maybe they don't have other times? Because before the last stand, you guys held them out of the end zone right before that, forced the field goal. I mean, is there some kind of mentality that some groups have that others don't when it comes down?
I mean, you hope so.
Yeah.
That was an area that we talked about. We got to get better in what we were a year ago. I think the year before that we were really, really good. 2 years before, 18 and 19, really good. Last year, not quite as good. And that was one of our top three things going into this year, man. That's what it is. It starts with mentality. That you don't let people run for touchdowns and you hold people to field goals. You create turnovers. You know, games on the line, game 7 mentality, and you find out a lot about your team. That way, good and bad. And remember that in 19, I think we started the year with Georgia Tech, and we had a started the year. We had maybe two. I think the first series of the game, offense might have turned it over, and it goes down there, and we're in it's first and goal somewhere down there, and we get a turnover, and then we did that. I don't know how many more times. I did it a couple times in that game, but we did Syracuse twice. I remember after a couple of turnovers there, and that's who we became that year, and that was an identity that you latched onto. Looking back at it, and but a couple of the same scenarios have happened this year, and our guys have really showed a great deal of toughness and a lot of heart and attitude, and uh, you know, not to be denied, if you will, and just playing good disciplined football too. Execution pretty good, and I think that's part of it too, is the film study and preparation, and then taking it to the field. That's critical. Everybody does it. If it was so easy, how come everybody doesn't execute? So that's a decision that those guys got to collectively make, and so far so good. Mm-hmm.
Talk about mentally being ready for his opportunity. How much is that mimicking guys like Skowski and the linebackers in front of him in terms of his work ethic and being prepared?
Yeah, I think it's guys, the players that are the older guys that have played are very demanding of everybody, and like I can step out of the way, and super demanding. If it's at practice, if it's in the film room, um, if it's on at the team hotel, very demanding of those guys. So they nourish the standard, and help and serve and prepare, all those things. Again, Levante would be the first one to tell you, that guys have helped him, but he's also put the work in too, put a lot of work into, being ready for his opportunity. So again, you hope from a culture standpoint that that's how you stay consistent when you graduate players, that, guys are gaining experience, even if sometimes it's not in repetitions on the field. There's a lot going on off the field to get them prepared for those opportunities.
Coach, what do you think about how your team responded following the likely delay, 32 seconds left for Tech had it on your side of the field? What do you think about how the defense?
Well, I mean, looking back at it now, I thought it was good. Obviously held them to a field goal. You like to get a turnover there, and then you come back and they get the ball. We're kicking off to them, and when we force a punt. So pretty good. 2 possessions, 3 points, 1 where it's again, wherever it was. Was it on the 18, 17?
I think
17. And I thought our guys, we did a good job. We just had a meeting, went through every play they ran in the first half, had them all drawn up. Just kind of go over overhead and make adjustments, and then you go through situationally. Got every 3rd and 2 and 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1 and 4th and 3 and 3rd and 3 that they had run the last couple of years. Just went through all of those, and so went through some calls that we wanted to run, and our guys were very engaged. Whatever they're stretching and eating, I don't know what everybody's doing. I'm talking, and so I don't know. I thought they responded pretty good.
That shovel pass wasn't anywhere on the previous 2.
Mm-mm. No, that'd be a good story, though, right? Man, we're ready for it. We had Petrino one year. He hit us at Western Kentucky to win the game. They went a little sprint out, little fade return, and we worked it and worked, and we kept talking. When this game goes on the line, you know, this is his go-to play at his last school, last play he coached at that school. And they won the game. And I remember Thursday out here on the field over there, Gary Peters. I'm like, okay, gotta have a play. You know, it was the first part of Thursday's practice, and we do red zone. And man, he was not anywhere in the same zip code. And the whole defense was pissed, man. We were just ripping into Gary Peters. And lo and behold, we got in the situation. J-Ron gives up that. We busted the coverage. J-Ron didn't give it up. We missed the tackle on the hole shot. They run it down there, and then we were playing that series of downs, and then here it is to win the game. You know, we got to play 4 downs, and inside the 5, and coming off a timeout. They called timeout, I believe, and we got in the huddle and said, here it comes. It's going to be sprint, fade, return, and doesn't always work out that way, you know, but it worked out that way. We defended it and won the game, and so that was pretty cool.
Judah Davis, I think, tweeted they must not know how many times y'all practiced the shovel pass after pitch.
Yeah, we practice it. Now, we practice it every week.
Yeah.
And it's part of everybody's fundamental drill work and just option football. And it's a good way to attack an aggressive defense and test their discipline. You have to play it with an option mentality. And so it was good. Yeah, I mean, I would expect that. Whether we won the national championship and they decide to come back, I'd expect the same mindset and attitude, you know, I'll be very honest. But as we know, failure is difficult and hard as it is to deal with, humbling, and it's no fun at all. There's real growth opportunity there. It's a lot easier to grow and to learn and get better through that, to reflect and refocus. And again, that takes, I think, having a growth mindset takes a great deal of humility. And but you got to be very driven and very, you know, focused and those types of things. But so how I feel about them, I mean, they've been incredibly impressive. You know, as committed to guys as we've had in this program. You know, they love what they do. Again, the game's slow for them. They're every day they're planting seeds and you know, fertilizing the soil. And I think they're very intentional about that. They're very intentional about that, and they know that. They know soon every day that goes by is a day, you know, closer to when they leave. And so, you know, people of Clemson, fans of Clemson, should be so thankful for 2 people like that. And we've got more guys that are like that, but you brought them up, and it's very personal to them, and very, very prideful and very connected to Clemson. And I'm sure there's some self-serving going on there too, but it's a lot more about the team and their teammates than it is anything.
Anything from anybody on Zoom?
Hey, Coach, Trevor Gross from CUTargets.com. What did you see on the targeting call by Simpson? Does he just need to keep his head up there?
Yeah, I think that when you have those discretionary calls like that, I just think you got to take it out of their hands and again just go to the side. You know, avoid that, you know, helmet to body contact at all cost.
How much do you see that in practice and have to correct?
No, it's you're not
guys?
you know, you're working on your tackling drills. You're not simulating what we just did, what he did on that play. So I don't know. You don't see it a whole lot. So it's a lot more difficult than you'd think. He didn't. Anyway, I'm not supposed to really talk about, you know, the actual play, but you got to keep your head out of it, and you know, you can't hit the quarterback high, and try to again take the ball out of the officiating crew's hands, and just, you know, be very mindful of that. All right?
Thanks.
Yep.